Okay. Peace, y'all. Happy Moon Day. I was on a second ago, but I had to hop off and figure out where I was going before I be lost while I'm chit-chatting away. Okay, so I was reading this morning, and it inspired a thought that I would say came as somewhat of a revelation, and I just wanted to share that with you this AM. And it was really it was a revelation, I believe. So, we come into this experience as unique beings, and a lot of times I talk about getting to really understand yourself. A tool that you can use is your natal chart, or things like galactic readings, or things like that can really show or talk to the level of who you come into this experience as far as a person. Your personality traits, your tendencies, your strengths, your areas you may need some support in, or you may need to focus a little bit on. This is all it's all a part of our life path, but it's all purposeful. I don't like to call anything weaknesses. You'll hear like, I have strengths, but I also have my weaknesses. Or you hear people be like, I ain't perfect and all this. And I'm like, we are perfectly made. We are perfectly made. The issue is that we have, the whole Adam and Eve story. We have come to this perception that there's a good and a bad, a right and a wrong. And so we subject ourselves to that belief and that perception. And so now we struggle with accepting ourselves as ourselves. We struggle with accepting our journey as our journey. And that acceptance is surrender. So we're struggling with surrendering. We're struggling. That acceptance is divine love. It's unconditional love first for ourselves. Only way we can really begin to walk this life and be in the flow of the universe, or God, which is abundance and peace and everlasting joy. We have to be able to unconditionally accept, conditionally love, divinely love, surrender to ourself, and not ourself, the one that's always perceiving and judging, but ourself that's come into this experience perfectly made, pure positive energy, endowed with everything needed for us to really unfold in our journey in a beautiful way. Right? So we come into this experience as that being, and it comes with a journey. Some have called it the cards we've been dealt. It comes with a deck of cards. And those cards may include some childhood things that we may experience as traumatic. That journey may come with certain struggles, some certain specific struggles. That journey may come with certain specific gifts that no one else has, or some may have, but they're still your own personal gift, and you experience those things in your own personal way, in accordance to your entire holistic journey. And so with that being said, first of all, before I go on, let me say, if you don't know how to read your natal chart and use your natal chart for your own personal work and your own spiritual work and your own journey, then I would strongly suggest that you hit the link in bio, hit the breakthrough session, book your breakthrough session, use that session to do a natal chart unpacking session with me. Okay? If you go to my calendar, my book me page, it also is on there as natal chart unpacking session. But there are 3 ways that you could get that. You can just book a regular coaching or counseling session with me, and in a note say, I want to unpack my natal chart. You can book a breakthrough session if you're a first-time client, and you can put in the notes, I want to unpack my natal chart. Or you can book a natal chart unpacking session, okay? I'll say that. Now, knowing that we come into this experience as unique beings, perfectly made, with the divine path that matches who we are and what we are supposed to experience in this life, and the story we're supposed to tell, and the impact we're supposed to make on this world, and all of those different type of things. Everything in our experience matches us. So we fear, oftentimes we're fearing things. We have these fears about our journey, these doubts about our journey, or we have these resentments or the shame or guilt about our journey that is unnecessary. Everything in our experience is meant for our journey. Even the struggles, even the things you perceive to be failures, even the things that you perceive to be shortcomings, all of it is meant for our journey. It's meant to stretch us. It's meant to teach us. It's meant to bless us. And so the best position that we can take on our journey is to be grateful. Be grateful for life. Be grateful for the reality of God. Be grateful for divinity. Be grateful for our journey. Be grateful for divine path. Be grateful for divine inspiration and guidance and divine protection, grace, mercy. Be grateful. Because it's not the case always. Most times it's not. It's not the case always that you're going to know how everything is going to pan out. It's not the case always. And like I said, most of the times you're not going to know. Because our mind is very limited. No matter how exalted our thoughts are, no matter how exalted our lives are, our minds are limited. It can grow. We can stretch. We can raise our vibration and raise our thoughts and all of these different type of things, so that, but the fragrance of that is generally just peace and a surrender. When we really climb Jacob's ladder, we just more easily surrender. It's not the case that, oh, you're just going to be all knowing, you're going to have it all figured out. No. You're just going to have this, the knowing that you will have is that everything is in order. All is well. Everything is working out. Everything is meant. That's the knowing you're going to have. And so you get to a space of surrender. But the revelation that just hit my mind this morning profoundly, or just significantly, was that, you know, we're constantly in a dance in life. Even those who are aware and have a level of understanding about life and about God, we still find ourselves in this dance trying to make sure we're doing right. Make sure, and I can speak for myself. I'll just speak for myself. I constantly find myself in this dance of, okay, let me make sure I'm staying on point. Let me make sure I'm staying in alignment. Let me make sure. And then I have these questions sometimes in my mind. Did I do that right? Did I, am I? And the notion that we come into this experience as unique beings perfectly made. So that means the struggles that we face, the challenges that we face, the breakthroughs that we face, everything that we face is in alignment with our greatest good, with our absolute good. And so that gives a level of peace. And prayerfully, it helps us to surrender. It helps us to relax a little bit, so that we can allow life to unfold in the best way. And I think I want to say in the moment, at the same time as I say that, it's for us to, as we are allowing our life to unfold, it's for us to be an observer, watch. It's for us to constantly recollect, remember, renew, rejuvenate, reconnect. That is our journey. So this is how your day should look. This is how your life should look, in remembrance. It's not that, oh, let me start my day, let me build my morning routine so that I won't have a stressful day. We give thanks for that. That's the reward of it. But no, let me start my day remembering what I am, who I am, and put myself in a position to be able to hear, see, and be led and be guided. And then as you walk that walk under that guidance, then that guidance comes with a level of protection. I just changed my mind on where I'm going. That guidance comes with a level of protection. That guidance comes with a level of providence. It comes with the glory. It comes with everything needed for your victory, for your overcoming. But we oftentimes are disconnected from that because we are living outside of ourselves. We start our day already outside of ourselves. We sometimes find ourselves not seeking guidance and not giving ourselves that space and time to recollect, to remember, to renew, to rejuvenate, to center ourselves, to ground ourselves. So it's very essential. And in this moment, I think the word that I'd like for us to walk with from this brief chat is that you are perfectly made. Everything that you need, everything you need to know, everything is unfolding in the perfect way. As you focus your attention, intention, and energy on constantly remembering, reconnecting, recollecting, renewing, rejuvenating, relaxing, doing all the reads, as you continue to do that on your journey, everything that's needed to unfold will unfold in your life. And even when you are not in a space where you feel like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, you are meant to be going through that too. So whatever tendency you have, whatever that comes with you, it's okay. It's going to be things on your journey that matches that's going to be purposeful, that's going to help you, it's going to assist you on your journey towards your absolute good and your success. And so rest in that and commit to doing what you need to do. Commit to that morning routine. Commit to all of those things that you have been led to do to keep yourself balanced, to keep yourself centered in the reality of God. And your journey will unfold in the perfect way. I'm going to close by sharing my testimony. As I thought about these things this morning, I said, man, I have a few tendencies. One being, I have to be watchful of the mind. I can't really give, I have to be watchful of the mind and do what I need to do to redirect and point the mind when needed, because in my blueprint, I have had a tendency to fret, to in one of the readings, my Galactic reading, it says you could experience an addiction to crisis. Now, to someone else who reads that, they may say, "What? Wait a minute, that's scary. Addicted to crisis. Oh my God," and get all fret. But no, when I read that, I said, "That's a way to put it." And it's right, because on my journey, I have had to talk to myself and say, "Girl, everything working out, it's all good. Why would you even go that way? Don't think about the worst case scenario. Don't da-da-da-da-da." I'm not the only one who, I know I'm not the only one, but even if I was the only one that experienced this, I'm grateful for the awareness. And so in the moment, as I'm thinking about what I'm talking about right now, I said, man, if I come into this experience, and that's one of the things that's one of those pulses in my blueprint, is this kind of concern with health, and also, as the Galactic reading put it, addiction to crisis. That's going to come with, for every difficulty comes ease. So if I come with that, then there's going to be certain graces and mercy that come with it. I mean, there's going to be certain graces already embedded in my journey. Because if my mind tend to go in that way, in the way of worry or fret or whatever, then not only am I programmed with that, but I'm also programmed with grace and mercy. So it's for me to remember that. Do what I can to govern the mind, because that is something that I deal with. But just know it's not by my will that I will find success, but by the grace and the mercy that is already programmed. I'm going to use that word in my journey. So as I face those struggles sometimes, and I face those challenges that come with that programming sometimes, it is the peace. The inner peace comes knowing that with every difficulty comes ease. So as you're on your journey, as your journey comes with certain challenges, certain struggles, just know if a challenge or a struggle come up, the grace, the mercy, the opening, the breakthrough that's needed to get past it is also readily available for you as well. You make your choice on which one you will seek, which one you will cleave to. Ashe. I pray that was a word that was inspiring. I give thanks. Give thanks for the moment to share. You all enjoy your week. Enjoy your week, and look for the good in God all around you. Look for the good in God all around you. Sis, I received that. She said, don't govern the mind, just not engaging on the thoughts. I hear you, and I agree with that. And I say sometimes you have to point the mind. So I agree with the governing piece, because we could get caught up. We could start stressing. But you must point the mind. That's what prayer, meditation, affirmation does. That's what it does. So point it, allow it, allow it to come, allow the thoughts to come, and then renunciate, as we use in our ministry. Renunciate. Deny those thoughts that come up that are not founded in truth, and affirm truth, because the mind, it has its addiction. The mind has its addictions. It's been conditioned. And so when you're on your journey, as you grow and you develop, you have the capacity, you have the power to help recondition the mind. Point it. I use the words like point the mind. It's almost like I say, you got to raise up that ego. You got to raise it like a child. You have to raise it. You have to confidence. I can understand. I talk to myself just like this. Hey, look, I can understand why you might be afraid. I can understand why you might be fretful. So there's acknowledgement, right? And so then I say, and understand this. All is God. All is good. Look at this situation with that. Look at that. Look at that. So it's like you develop a good relationship with the ego. I never see it as a enemy, but it's persistent. You ever dealt with that child? I don't know if y'all how many 2-year-olds y'all done dealt with, but when it has their solar plexus is developing around that age, 2, 3, and so you could tell them something, but they want their way, That's how the ego is sometimes. That's how the mind is a lot of times. And so you have to you don't want to discourage the 2-year-old and, you need to sit, always telling it to stop and sit. No, you have to talk to it, raise it up, help it to understand, bring it up, point it, show it the way. And that's how we have to do the mind. So again, I definitely think you should engage, to the sister's point. She says, don't govern the mind, just not engaging on the thoughts. I think you should engage it. Your power is in the engaging of it, but engaging it where you're conditioning it and you're teaching it and you're coaxing it so that it can be raised up to divine mind. And the only way we can do that is if we engage it. We got to engage it. We got to be there right with it. Don't fight it. But I would agree with the less use of govern the mind. That has been something that I've easily uttered because we get carried away. We get carried away. Point the mind. you know. Condition the mind, support the mind, help the mind to be raised up to divine level, to speak truth, to be more prone to judge from a place of truth and from a place of gentleness and reverence of life, you know, instead of so fearful, you know. Depends on where it's coming from. Because like I said, we come into this journey sometimes with already certain things, you know. Those tendencies are attached to certain things. It could have been something that has been impacted by our ancestry. It could have been impacted by the thoughts your mama was having in the womb. It could have been impacted by the collective consciousness of that age, you know. All these different things, that all of that impacts kind of how we tend to think, you know. We say, oh, my mama, my grandmama, whoever was a worrywart. Well, that was influenced by something. It's a reason why they became a worrywart. And it's all in the mind. It's definitely all in the mind. But that could have came from their mama being a worrywart while they was pregnant. That could have came from a whole line of aunties who tend to be controlling and who experience something in their life where their heart chakras were closed. Whatever. We don't know where it comes from. But the awareness. We give thanks for awareness, to be aware not only of self, but also of God, which will point you to the true self. And that's the goal in life. Be pointed to the true self, you know, surrender to it and allow it to be, you know, so that you can walk as a vessel of the work of God, a vessel of the light of God. And it shines through you in our own unique way. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Let me hit these streets so I can get some work done. All right, y'all. Peace.